If you've got 173 tabs open and can't stop the learning binge, then you're in the right place to glean boss-level theories and let the intellectual stimulation begin. They teach us we only have 5 senses. Aside from that being interesting and the possibility of more, I find it interesting how at least 2 of those senses can be transferred through invisible waves of technology, such as sight and sound, through your TV. But the nose cannot. The discernment, the olfactory system, cannot be duplicated so far. That discernment, kinda cool. Matrix-proof sense. Just some food for thought. Speaking of that phrase, I like the idea that the microbiome contributes to the dream world, so that what you eat is connected to the spirit dream realm. This microbiome-generated dream world is connected to your hair silica in the gut, which is sort of like an antenna to other dimensions or the spirit world, to experience downloads. So go ahead and throw your thinking cap on, which is actually where the tinfoil hat came from. It's got this weird history of being a dunce cap and kids not being able to think, so the energy flowing upward, they would stick it on the kid's head and put him in the corner of the room, so that they could actually think better. That's actually the thinking cap, became known as the dunce cap, and it has a really interesting origin. By the way, it was believed that the original tinfoil and aluminum could block radio waves was the idea. But beyond all of that, at the origin, I see this weird cone hat trend. You see these cone hats everywhere, specifically this gold cone hat. Gold, by the way, seems to function to some sort of technology, as do other types of jewels and gemstones, not just for looks. All of our technology, if free, would run off gold if it was possible. Electricity amplification, no interaction, communication with the spirit world, etc. Archetypes of giants and caves with gold, Sumerian accounts of the original purpose for man having to do with gold, and even the land of Ophir having to do with gold in the Bible. So back to this cone hat. You'll see everything from Baal to pharaohs, to giants, to witches, to wizards, to the ancient Sumerians, troll, dwarf, jester, pope, kind of, with their fish head cranial hat. Also, Nimrod has the conical hat. Trace back through the Scythians, possibly Tartarians, these golden hats are Anunaki hats, some sort of huge gold electricity conducting, frequency attracting electroculture neuron stimulator, or grower, definitely some kind of tech. Wonder if it had to do with the scalar waves, or senses beyond the 5. Haven't explored it all the way, but I'm coming for you, cone hat. Weird rocket-shaped hats with star markings on them, possibly sigils, also astrologers and astronomers using them, as well as alchemists, the whole cone head theme. They're trying to look like gods. That's also what you see with emperors and pharaohs with the wooden beards. They're all trying to imitate the same gods of the Anunaki. I'm on to you, Canaanite astrologer Nephtech divining hat. I'm coming for you. Anyway, it seems originally at one point this was used for tech, and over time the material was cheapened into woven cloth and then eventually plastic, as you see it downgraded into witch and wizard hats, and in its final cheapened version, the dunce cap, which now became the little dunce party hat for your birthday, possibly connected to another ritual. Anyway, speaking of the corner of the room, we'll close with feng shui. The idea that round corners might be better than non-round corners as far as energy direction, and even things like knowing how to build your house, what direction it should face, where the doors and windows should be, how it aligns with the sun, Earth's magnetic field, etc. There's a whole lost science to that. Kind of related to geomancy, and speaking of which, the Hopi said at the time of the end there'll be cobwebs in the sky. Are they talking about all the cool trails that we see all the time, or the worldwide internet possibly? Also, ancient legends of Indians holding up their hands and saying how, which they'll tell you something different, but from what I remember, it was always to count the fingers because of all their interactions with the Nephilim tribes and giants who always had 6 fingers, and they wanted to see your hands. How? By the way, it's definitely not like there's a totally clear agenda to hide giants, American pyramids, star forts, and whatever Tartaria is, which we'll be getting into in the future. Seems like the common theme is they're hiding God. By the way, if you've ever wondered what the origin of clowns, the archetype of Nephilim, have to do with each other, you're gonna find out. Stick around. Strange rituals, strange masks, things cultures all over the world do and did. It's all connected to the quantum realm, the fallen realm, and the future. Stay tuned. Same savage time, same savage channel. By the way, my tabs have actually grown to 249.